Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Hero Squad Stream with, for at least for the next couple of sessions at least, it'll be guest DM'd by Aenne.
That's me.
And we're playing Ryuutama, which Aenne has described to us as Oregon Trail
Studio Ghibli.
meets Studio Ghibli.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Yeah, so it's got a very Japanese feel to it as well. If you've ever played like a JRPG, it's got a lot of the whole like there are heroes out to going on adventures and journeys, and it's very much that sort of wanderlust of like exploring the world outside of your hometown, which I feel like if we've all played JRPGs, that's exactly what you do.
Yep.
And then something happens and your hometown gets destroyed.
Never played a single JRPG.
Don't you lie to me.
And the DM name is called
A Ryuujin.
a Ryuujin.
Ryuujin.
So I also get to play the game with you.
Oh.
I get to be my own character, and it's sort of like Skeletons, where we all are forming the story together, and I'm just here to sort of guide you, ask questions along the way, help you go to the next area.
Okay.
I'm gonna start with Ryuutama means dragon's egg. Travelers go on a journey. Egg.
Oh, we actually
Egg.
we carry you?
Jazz not on board.
You don't have to. I mean, you have to carry me. Carry me, Jess.
Swoop me, dragon.
That's why there was one set of footprints. Just carrying you the whole time.
Travelers go on a journey, and their stories are recorded by mysterious dragon people observers called Ryuujin.
Oh.
The Ryuujin then feed the essence of the stories to the seasonal dragons, which give them strength, help them grow, and in turn renews the world. So that's sort of the idea of Ryuutama, is to create these wonderful, good-feeling type stories.
So if we create bad feeling type stories, does it not nourish the
It
dragons of the seasons as much? So we want to make sure that they're good stories?
Yeah, we want to make sure that they're good stories.
Okay.
It doesn't like bad, poorly worded stories. Ooh. So.
Get out that thesaurus.
And as a writer,
Rhaegar's not allowed to write.
Rhaegar's not involved in this, okay?
But-
I'm a different person. I'm 41 years old.
A tragedy is still a
knows
good
that Rhaegar's
story,
not
so we could
41?
still just mess up.
That's true.
Ryuutama is a Japanese tabletop role-playing game now translated into English. The original author is Arthur.
That's how you say it.
Is Atiru Ukada. He wrote the game to bring new people into tabletop role-playing, as well as to provide a heartwarming experience with other games at the time did not. Ryuutama calls itself a natural fantasy RPG. It is a fantasy role-playing game set in a Western medieval style setting. The idea of the setting is at one point is everyone's lives, people get this intense feeling of wanderlust. They put their daily lives on hold and travel the world with newfound companions. They find out more about the world and at the same time, learn about themselves. Ryuutama emphasizes travel, exploration, community, friendship, harmony, and growth. Adventures usually involve traveling from one town to another, picking gear, crafting items, cooking and sharing along the way, getting lost, meeting people, and sometimes cute monsters along the way. Braving the elements and trying to set up camp properly. So it is like we were saying, essentially Oregon Trail, but adorable.
When you say trying to set up camp properly, so there's
Yeah.
going to be camping roles, right?
There's gonna
We
be
actually have to
camping
make sure that we know how
roles.
to do this.
Yeah, and if you fail, then maybe you don't get the tent set up, or you don't light the fire and you're cold all night. Who knows? Ryuutama is a game that gives off a feel-good, or in the Japanese, honobono feel. The feeling of this game is like...
I like that honobono feel.
I do too. I just like saying honobono. It's really cute.
I'm gonna
write
tuck
that
that one
down.
away in
Yeah.
my
Honobono
lexicon.
Yep.
Honobono.
equals feel goods.
Yep. Where there's adventure and excitement, there's also a warm sense of wonder, exploration, and championship.
Feel good feel.
All right. That was my brief explanation of what Ryuutama is. Are we all on board? Are we all caught up? Any questions?
I think
so
so.
I'm honobono,
I
baby.
think so. Bonobo?
Honobono.
Hobo bonobo.
Honobono.
Got it.
Sense of
Nailed it.
wanderlust. All right, so what I wanted to do before we do anything, we're also going to be creating the town together,
Right.
and there are certain roles that everybody gets to be as part of a group. Almost like, in Oregon Trail, you have someone to be the hunter, and then you have someone who's got to tend to the animals or find food. We'll come up with the roles a little bit later, but I wanted everyone to do a quick character biography of however much you want to tell me and everybody else about your character.
Okay. Want to start with Ash and go clockwise?
Sure. So my character's name is Cyrus, 22 years old. I'm a cook, an artisan cook. And to give a little bit of a backstory about me, so I shared some of this with Aenne. I dream of bigger and better things, but at the moment I'm stuck helping my aunt and uncle in their restaurant. I lost my parents when I was around 14, and I've lived with my aunt and uncle ever since. So I feel like I owe them a good bit of debt for raising me, and so I stick around and I cook rather than exploring the world.
What's the name of your aunt and uncle's restaurant?
Staven?
Bono Bono.
Bono Bono.
No, we can't. I've already claimed Staven for something else in this game.
Oh, you can't claim Staven for one thing.
That's true. Staven is
Staven is
heart.
everywhere.
If there's not a Staven on your driver's license, there's a Staven in your heart. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Who wants to go next?
If we just go
Okay.
clockwise like this. All right. So my character's name is Aster Wynn. They are non-binary, so he/they pronouns. I am a merchant, and I am a magic type of the winter variety. So a little backstory on my character. My character grew up around the same town that everyone else grows up in. That's kind of a part of Ryuutama. But I actually grew up kind of a little bit outside of town, up in the highlands, because my family is a family of ranchers, and they ranch big woolly pigs. And so they mostly sell the wool. And so I didn't really want to be a part of the family business per se, of the ranching aspect. I found that kind of boring. And I really enjoyed every time that we would go down to town to talk to all the people that we would trade with. And so then as I got old enough, I took over that part of the business for my family. So I do all the trading. I work with everybody. It works great for my family because then they don't have to deal with people because they're all harumphs. And then I'm like, nah, man, I want to chill with people. So, alongside that, what the description of my character, about like 5'2" and scrawny, so real tiny. I wear a little blue like wool cap, like the ones with like the little ear flaps that come down.
Oh yeah.
And it's like turquoise.
A toque.
Yeah, kind of like a toque. And then like the rest of my outfit kind of looks like Link from Breath of the Wild, like blue tunic with like the white pants kind of thing.
So you kind of got like a Andes Peruvian kind of
Yes,
like look. Yeah.
very much so. And hair is kind of like straw-colored gingery, somewhere in like that orange range. Freckles all over my face. And on my hat, I have like little kind of like pins. I've been collecting like little gems and stuff like that, and I just pop them in there as I go along, just kind of like to remind myself where I've been, because at this point I've gone a good distance around the island, kind of spreading the wares. But I'm always looking for something else to see. I just want to meet all the people of the world. I want to see all the places of the world. So like that wanderlust has been set in for a long time, and it's time to really kick out of here. The last part of my story is that I have a pet pig, a pack animal, who is a giant woolly pig, or a mangalitsa as they're called if you want to go Google it. And my pig's name is Bucket.
Oh my god, that's so cute.
Bucket is named after the bucket that Bucket always carries around. Because when we were young, like when I was maybe like 12, I'm now 22. When I was 12, there was this big flash flood that came through, and it actually like flooded through the barn, and like all the little piglets were getting like washed away, and so we were kind of running around trying to like get them inside to like somewhere where it'd be safer. And so like I was collecting them and putting them in a bucket. So when I brought them back inside, all the other piglets, they went over to their mom and kind of like, were getting consoled, but Bucket stayed in the bucket and felt very safe there, and Bucket never left that bucket ever since then.
That's so cute.
And so now Bucket will always be seen with a bucket on his head, and doing other various things with the bucket depending on how he's feeling.
Okay.
And that's Bucket.
Cute.
We're the same age.
Hey, cool.
Yeah.
You might
guys
know
go to
each
the same
We're
other.
school?
classmates.
Yeah.
He's always bringing that pig to school.
Bucket's my best friend.
How much does Bucket like to eat the onion towers?
Bucket loves the onion towers.
yeah.
When you sneak it off the side of there, sometimes Bucket like wants to go home with a bucket full of onions.
Yeah. Aunt and Uncle don't like it when he shows up to the restaurant.
Yeah.
Bucket like kind of when Bucket shows up to the back of the restaurant, kind of flips that bucket over. It's like a little feeding trough
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
thing, and you just
course.
dump all the scraps in there, and he's just nom nom nomming
Yeah.
away.
You don't have to worry about recycling at that point.
No.
So my character's name is Marna. Marna is, she's been living on this island for a very long time. She's 68 years old.
I love Marna.
Your little drawing is so cute.
You have to show people this drawing.
I'll tweet about it later. But like, if you can imagine like 3 Satsumas stacked on top of each other, that's basically Marna. She's very short. She's got like a very large bun that's held back with a scarf. She's got really big round glasses, and she wears a heavy apron because she's a healer. And so she carries all of her ingredients and stuff in her apron, but she also has a satchel for her, like her books that she carries, like her like medicine and stuff like that. She also has a very large walking stick that she uses. It's very gnarled and painted, and that's her most beloved item. So since she's been living here for a long time, her lifelong partner died to a very rare illness, and so she's a little. It's been a couple years since that happened, so she's just trying to figure out like what was it that caused this illness and how do I cure it. So basically, that's her reason for like thinking about leaving the island. But other than that, she's very stubborn. She's sort of prone to like kleptomania because she likes to take things.
Because she's old.
She's old.
Listen, old people like to steal stuff.
No, this is a running thing.
I know.
This is Jazzy's
This is my plan.
This is her plan.
Yes.
Like when you see a mugshot of Jasmine at 67 on the
68.
news,
68.
for theft.
But it looks like Jasmine, but
Know
it's
that
actually
she has been
named Marna.
planning it. Know that she has been planning it.
But she's very soft to her patients. Whenever people come to her that need to be healed, she's very soft to them. But she also doesn't take any crap from anybody that tries to push her around.
How long has she been a healer for?
She basically all her life she apprenticed into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's a pro.
I like that. Your name is Marna, obviously, but just the way that you have it written out, it looks like the R and the N are an M.
That's just my
and
R.
So I'm gonna call you Mama.
Mama.
Oh, that's so cute.
Well, my handwriting's really shit. Like,
No.
I was like
it's-
trying to read this, and I was like, "Oh crap! I wrote
Your
this really
handwriting's
badly.
fine, but it just so happens that the R and the N are right next to each other, and it looks like an M.
That's really
And
cute.
your name is
Also,
Mama.
Jazz, for Marna's walking stick, is there any like embellishments on it, or is it just a like? Describe to me what the walking stick looks
So
like.
it's almost as tall as her,
Okay.
but it is sort of gnarled at the top, so it has like a blunt end, but it's like been painted over the years. So like it has some colors are fresh, some colors are really faded, and there's like yellows, there's blues, there's purples on it.
Love it.
My name is Bast, and I am a hunter from a region on the island called Fellwood. That's what I called it. That's where we would harvest wood. We were lumberjacks.
Where wood was felled, maybe.
Yes, exactly.
Get
We
it.
were lumberjacks by trade, but then a mysterious plague infected the trees in the region that we were, and we were forced to leave. So then we came to town, and I am 41 years old. I'm a bigger guy, about 6'2", kind of balding on the top with a big scruffy orange beard. I have a big axe. That's a rough-hewn axe is what I called it. I made it with my uncle when I was young, and it's just basically like a rough branch of a tree with a big axe head on the end. And then I also have a crescent-shaped sort of white marking on my forehead. The people in the region, they would have a special marking when they were born, and that's kind of my birth marking.
Was it a birthmark or was it given to you?
Yeah.
It was given.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yes. And my, what is it? My personalized item is a badger's foot.
Okay.
That it was, again, my uncle taught me how to chop wood, taught me how to hunt, and this was the first creature that I had ever hunted myself. And so that's sort of like symbolizes the bond that I had with my uncle.
Did your uncle teach you how to kick squirrels?
No.
Okay.
That was just the school kids. I mean, everybody knew how to do that growing up. We don't know who started it. It just
Didn't need to be
always was there.
taught. It was just
it
always
was
there.
like that S sign that you would always see in high
It's,
school. You know,
STC.
like nobody knows where it came from. It just always was.
Everyone's always done it since the beginning of time.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't believe it.
Yeah, so I've just been sort of like the local handyman around town since I moved in, just doing odd jobs. I'm a pretty jolly guy, pretty happy-go-lucky kind of a dude.
Does your axe that you made with your uncle have a name or something that you call it?
Axie.
Okay.
Pretty simple.
I like it. Excellent. Anything else you want to tell me about your characters?
What does Ash's character look like?
So yeah, I forgot to
Yeah.
just sort of describe my appearance. I'm tall, young. I'm a fairly fit guy because I'm constantly working with like dough and whatnot.
Do you have solar hands?
He's got,
You better have solar hands.
he's got a dough body. That's what they call him.
I got dough
Wait,
body.
is that a thing? Like, bakers are like always in shape because they're working with dough?
Do you know how hard it is to like knead bread, like lots
Yeah,
of bread every
like-
morning?
Sure, but I mean, like, compared to like other jobs that are just as demanding, doing like, is there something special about like dough in particular where it's just like,
Well, I'm working in a restaurant, so that made like I'm not like saying I'm physically fit because I cut down trees all day. But you work in a restaurant. No, I'm physically fit because I'm working with dough.
it just surprised me. I'd never heard anybody give that explanation as to why they're
Yeah.
fit because they work with dough.
Listen,
Okay.
Cyrus skips leg day, but never arm day.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Very top heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could push him over.
I have fairly sandy-colored yellowish hair, and I wear around a rune necklace, which is sort of my personal item. And then I carry a fairly large staff with me, which I actually use for pounding the dough and rolling the dough.
So how big is the staff? Is it as big as Marna's?
No, it's bigger. It's a two-handed
Whoa,
weapon.
this is not a staff battle, okay?
It's a bow
fine.
staff. It's a bow staff that also does noodles.
Okay.
Have you guys seen Shaolin or Kung Fu Hustle?
Yeah.
Remember that noodle maker? He just like cut down like all of his things, and they're all bow staffs. Every single one of them. All of his rolling pins.
Like I'm just imagining you with this giant
Yeah.
staff.
Yeah.
Every
Pound it
day,
into
just
bread.
Yeah.
I like it.
Like it's two-handed, so like
Okay.
the base of it is what you use to pound the dough, and then you turn around to roll.
well, and that's why he's
I
so
like that
buff because
technique.
he's
Yeah.
doing so much dough at once.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's like a normal rolling pin. This is all you could do.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
I can't do this much. He's over here
Yeah, that's
bench
That
pressing
works
that
your
dough.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's good. It's
Yeah.
a good workout.
I get it now.
Oh, and I wear a cape, and the cape has lots of little pockets in it for like all my various spices
okay.
and
Oh,
whatnot.
nice.
Yeah,
Do you wear the cape while you're cooking?
no, not necessarily.
Okay. Just got to know these things. 'Cause,
Yeah.
You know.
We need to get you a spice rack, Ash.
Oh, yeah, I got all the pockets for
like
it.
in
Like
Bob's
a bowl.
Burger.
Yeah.
It's that
Like a
bra.
Pantaloon. All right.
So
Excellent.
this is a side, but
Yeah.
as I was making my character, I kept on realizing I was getting closer and closer to the main character from Name of the Wind, because he has a cape and he has lots of pockets and stuff. And I'm super happy that like I leaned away from that a little bit because Rick's character's name is Bast, which is also like the
Yeah.
best friend of the main character, Name of the Wind.
I do like
You guys aren't allowed to be best friends.
Yeah.
There's just some.
He's too
We're
young.
gonna run into some copyright issues. Okay.
Yeah. Patrick Rothfuss is going to be over here.
Yeah.
saying
Knocking
some
on the
shit.
door.
He's like, oh, I DM, and you're using my characters, so I'd like to step in.
And then I'd be like, I'll just see myself out because Patrick Rothfuss could do a better job than I can.
I don't know.
We'll see.
Not after the stuff that he said.
Not after the stuff that he
yeah.
said,
Oh,
really. Yeah.
jeez.
Take a seat there.
All right. So now that we have our characters, we
Yes.
also, every character gets the role like I was talking about. So we can go and talk about these roles and then we will determine who gets to do what. Also, I'm going to throw this out there to everybody watching. I will need various names for characters in the future when they interact with other characters. And I figured that anybody who resubscribes or donates could have a potential name in this episode. All right, so the party roles. We have the leader. So this is the person that keeps the party together. The leader has the last word on any discussion concerning the party. The leader also keeps track of initiative and turn order during the battle.
Oh.
That's pretty cool, because normally it's the DM's job to do that, but this will be the leader's job.
Okay.
Now, everybody has like a job. Yeah.
Yeah, we have four jobs, so everybody gets one job.
I'm
And I
pretty
can
sure.
read them all. And then
Yeah,
we can
let's,
discuss
because
them.
I'm pretty sure that there's another one that would be more.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
You know.
The
I
next
know the one. It's coming up in a bit, but Quartermaster makes the most sense for me because I'm the pack
Because you're the
person.
merchant,
so I already
yeah.
wrote down like all of our equipment and everything that we start with.
Well, he
from
already
the
picked it
beginner
for us.
So I already picked Quartermaster.
Maybe you
Now, if
should-
someone else wanted to, I could just hand you the sheet
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
you could be the Quartermaster. Just
All
saying.
right, no worries. So the next one is the mapper, the person that makes sure the party is on the right path to their destination. They are responsible for the direction check part of the traveling check phase and for keeping the map sheet up to date. We don't actually have a map sheet, so you don't have to worry about that. The character with the highest int is recommended for this one. We have Quartermaster, which what Price was saying, this person keeps track of the party's food and water and takes responsibility for buying the necessary supplies for the trip. Keeping food and water in barrels and trunks is much easier than PC holding their own. This person will be responsible for the ration sheet, which we're not going to do a ration sheet because you're all not going to starve on my watch. The character with the pack animal is recommended for the Quartermaster. Journal keeper. This person keeps a detailed entry of events that happen in the game as if through the eyes of their character. Another option is to have everyone in the party take turns writing the diary, switching off every day and every few days. So that you get a more interesting diary at the end of the journey. But I think it'd be fine if someone just wants to be the journal keeper to make things easy. So those are the party rules. Talks amongst yourselves.
Who else has high int?
I mean, I think that... Does anybody have higher than 6?
I do. I have 8.
Okay. Well, I think the rest of us have 6. So we're all pretty matched on that.
So if someone else wants to... I can be the direction person. If someone else wants to be the quartermaster and keep track of stuff. I have the pack animal, but someone else just had to keep track of it.
I'm trying to think what I would want to do.
As far as... I mean, like, it's not specific to... like finding a path necessarily, but I do have a tracking ability.
Okay.
Which, like, if we were to follow the track of something, then I have a specific ability to that.
Okay.
So I could potentially be a map maker.
Okay.
If within our quest it so happens that we need to be following something.
I think with age comes with leadership.
Yes.
You want to be party
You have-
leader?
I'll be leader.
You have the
down.
last say.
So
All right. So
you want me making our journal?
Your
Yes.
journal boy.
Okay. I'm
right.
happy
Are
being
you
the
literate? I'm sorry, I didn't ask before.
Sure.
Yes, we both went to the same
He has to read recipes.
How do you? He couldn't remember them.
They've got pictures.
I'm just writing
You
this
take
down.
one thing.
You guys went to
and-
school together. Are you telling me during that entire time you never learned how to read? I never learned how to read.
Only
Please
read,
tell me you learned how to
Only read the food.
Do I literally write it down?
Yeah.
Okay. I need
Yeah,
a
you do.
notepad or something.
Here.
You get one piece of paper.
Make it count. Bullet notes.
Yeah.
These better be as good as my notes for Dungeons and Dragons.
Today
I'm just saying.
morning,
You're going to be graded on this later.
I will take a look and give you an A.
I had a nice BM. I went outside, killed a monster. I went to sleep.
Big Mac?
Yes, Big Mac.
Myrna had a great day.
Took a nap. All right. Now that that's settled, the next thing that I want us all together to do is make the town. So I've already created the world in which you live in, but I think it would be fun for us to make the town together because that's sort of fun. You all have a part in this town, and I think we should be able to create it together.
Do you want to describe the world for them?
No, I will do that in a bit.
Okay.
Yes.
Got it.
Don't worry. I've got like
Got it.
3 pages of exposition
Got
that
it.
I will describe the world. So first of all, we need a name of the town where everyone lives in currently. And if we want, we could use a suggestion from the audience, or we could come up with a name ourselves.
Slapsburg.
Slapsburg?
No, I'm just.
I want at
throwing
least
it
a
out there.
serious sort of name.
How about
Coming up with names is hard.
I know, especially if it's a serious name. It's so boring.
Okay, fine. You don't have to have a serious name.
I'm trying to think of a serious name because, it could just be something as simple as like Midland Point, and because
could
it's
be.
in the
Or
center
Boggy.
of town, right? Because usually town names are something about it.
How about where's their town located?
Is it
It's like in
coastal?
It's a coastal town.
It's a coastal
so
town.
so it's got to be like, Oregon coast towns have silly
Yeah.
names.
Okay,
sometimes.
so we're a coastal
Be like
town.
Seagull
What about-
Creek or
and then
something like that.
I live up in the Highland area, just like above the coastal town, so it's right next to like a cliffy, rocky something
Still
like
in
that.
the same
Yeah.
city lines.
Yeah. So maybe
Stavens Rock. No.
Is that next to Otter Rock?
what about Critters Bay?
kind of something Bay. I think.
So I like Bay.
Yeah.
Cliffside. That's a good one.
Cliffside is a good one.
What about
And don't forget, we're in a world of dragons, so we can use that to our benefit
That's
for
true.
naming
That's true.
the city as well.
Is there a name for like a rock dragon or something like that?
Scaly Point or something like that.
Ooh, I like
Scales Bay.
Scales Bay.
Something
Scales
I
Bay?
like Scales Bay.
Sure. So okay, so it's Scales Bay. So let's say because there's like this cliffy rock face up above it and everything like that, that maybe there are like boulders that are kind of strewn about the beach that kind of look and shimmer like dragon scales in the sunlight. Like
Right.
when the sun first
they're- I
like
rises.
that.
They're kind of like black onyxy looking.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's why
boulders.
we call it
That's nice.
Scale Bay.
Scales Bay.
Hell yeah.
Or
I just got shivers, Scales Bay. When am I booking my
Basalt?
next vacation to Scales Bay?
Very Honobono.
Yeah, very. While you're staying
You have
in
never
lovely,
honoed this much bono.
while you're
Wow.
staying in beautiful Scales Bay, go to the restaurant Hono Bono. Get the Onion Tower. Let me tell you, it's the best.
Honobono now with
Get
the
the
Onion Tower.
Get the onion volcano. Ask for Cyrus.
Yeah. All right. So, what is the town population? How many people live in Scales Bay?
I want to say it's a small town, but it's growing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm trying to think.
Like we can
maybe-
give a rough estimate of like, do 1,000 people live here?
No, it's not
500?
Like 300?
Yeah, I was gonna say
300.
300-400.
Like we could say
yeah.
like 3 to 500.
Yeah.
We
3
don't
to
have to
5.
give like 472 people
Yeah.
live here. We can do like 3 to.
Well, you know, the last census was taken a while ago. Who can
yeah.
say?
Who knows if we even do
most
censuses
people know
anymore.
who each other are, but there's some children now that are starting to pop up that people are
Yeah.
having a hard time. Like,
And there's more people who are like moving here too, maybe. So it's like it's a little bit more fluid than
Yeah.
it used to be, and so like that also is probably maybe a part of why our wanderlust is like, oh, maybe we should go visit other places.
Maybe in the winter it's closer to 3. During the summer, closer to 5.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's kind of a summer town.
Yeah.
People like to.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. There's a
Summer
resorty
town.
place.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah, we could put that resort town. Resort. Yeah, we're not quite like a city, but we're not like a village. We're like a small town.
A town.
Yeah.
Yeah, a town.
A good old town. All right, so what is sort of like the ruler or representative? Like, how does the hierarchy work? Do we have an elder? Do we have a mayor? Who do we go to? Do we just go to Marna for
Say.
the rules?
I think we probably have a mayor.
What about like a mayor with a town council?
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's like a town council made up of like the different.
Maybe the different guilds or maybe the different regions.
Right,
or
you know,
something
so like
that.
somebody from like the cooking guild, somebody from like the crafting, somebody from the magic.
Sure.
The fisher. I imagine there's got to be a fishing.
Definitely
Yeah.
fishing.
So we have Mayor Dovaki.
Oh,
Mayor
wow.
Dova.
Mayor Dovaki.
Given that title.
Given that title.
Oh snap!
All right, we have already established that the environment is coastal and we've talked a little bit about the beaches. Is there anything else that we want to mention about the environment of the coast town that we've created?
I mean, I've already said it before, but just that, like, yeah, there's this zigzagging path that goes up a cliff face very nearby that heads up to kind of these like little highland areas. So that's where like my family lives and raises their pigs because it's an optimal climate. So just my family lives up there, and then I'm the one who like kind of like travels back down here and sells everything. And so
Do you have? I assume you have like a little stand within the city or within the town.
Yeah, I mean, I sort of have like a little pop-up stand that I'll tend to bring because I also supply the local merchants and whatnot. So like there's like a general goods store that like I'll go in and, you know, I'll restock their shelves with all of our wonderful woolen goods from Wynn's Wonderful Woolly Wares.
I want to say like Marna lives a little bit more inland, where there's more like foliage and stuff. Especially since she's an herbalist,
Yeah.
like a pharmacist. Basically,
That
she
makes
creates
sense.
medicines out of stuff, and so she has probably her own garden where she cares for her own stuff, and people come to her.
I love it. I love it.
So it's sort of like, yeah, we have this like bay area and then like not too far away, like still within town limits, there's lots of wilds.
I feel like it's pretty close to like Oregon coast, right? Because we have the beach right there, and then the forest is like
Yeah.
very, very
you
close.
just take a step. And
Yeah.
like, oh, look at that.
Yeah. So we've
Oh,
got
look,
a lot
mountain.
we've got a lot of grass, a lot of mountains in this town. What about our representative buildings? So what sort of defines? We have got the Honobono,
Obviously,
restaurant.
yes.
Got that.
We've got does your wool shack have a name?
Yeah, Wynn's Wonderful Woolly Wares.
Win as in
Winn.
I assume that
my family
people
name.
you treat patients, Marnie, or Marna. What do you have a like? Where do you treat your patients? Is it out of your home?
People come to me because I have most of the stuff there, and as I'm getting older, I refuse to go into town to like do home visits unless it's very severe.
Okay.
Do you like have your own garden where you're like growing your own herbal?
So I'm
healing
thinking like
herbs?
kind of like Kiki's delivery service. You know that really beautiful like garden in that greenhouse that she had, and they were just basically making stuff inside of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
I was saying she's more like a pharmacist basically, but
Okay.
yeah. But she is a healer.
I'm just writing. People go there. Are there any other major buildings that we want to focus on? That we can think
I'm
of?
gonna say there's like a big fishing port.
I was gonna say, or like
Yeah.
a boardwalk. Like I think that we should have like almost like
yeah.
a touristy, and it's kind of right now booming. Like so maybe it was just like a fishing pier kind of thing that we've now quickly been turning into like, oh hey, people are kind of
So there's gonna
visiting.
be like lots of shops and like
Or,
knick-knacky
like,
things.
Yeah.
on the
Oyster
boardwalk.
shuckers out there or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, since I'm like a handyman, I guess I'm just gonna say, I'll have like a ship repair
Ooh.
shop near the coast, and I'll
Yeah,
call
that's-
it Ship Shape Shipwright.
Ship shape, shipwright. Okay, excellent. Okay. Sort of. Yeah.
Lighthouse?
Ooh, a lighthouse. Yeah. Let's
I
have
like
a lighthouse.
that. Yeah.
Let's see. What,
It's an old
We've
lighthouse.
got to. Let's name the lighthouse after somebody. So,
Okay.
what suggestions do we have?
What about we've got Sakichi dropping some bits
I like
earlier?
the idea of Mr. Flame being the
Oh my
Oh my
goodness,
God! Yes,
that's so perfect.
The lighthouse is Mr. Flame's lighthouse.
Well, Mr. Flame says I call for a wizard character and name it Flamey.
Flamey.
Well,
Flamey the
Or
lighthouse.
Smothers
I'm
Butts
sorry.
says anything Smothers Butts.
Smother
I mean,
butts.
we'll get to Smothers, but in a little bit. Don't you,
Mr.
worry,
Flame.
Smotherbutts.
I don't know if there's going to be a wizard, so Mr.
There's magic.
But
There's magic.
We're wizards.
Flamey though, but
Flame.
I can't guarantee that we're going to
Yeah,
find
yeah,
one this
yeah,
episode.
Yeah, but I in that same vein, I think Mr. Flamey's lighthouse.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Flamey's
I think
lighthouse.
Flamey's
is amazing.
lighthouse should be kind of like legendary.
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
local folklore. It's been there for
you
a
know what?
long time.
We can say that there was a wizard
It's
who
haunted.
lived there.
It's super haunted. Flamey's lighthouse is 100%
There is,
haunted.
yeah, there's definitely some whispers that it's haunted.
Yeah.
Because when you go there, you hear whispers.
Right.
Yeah.
The
Flame
whispers
goes, yeah.
tell you it's
They
haunted.
tell you it's haunted. Yeah. Bucket doesn't like going there.
No, but it's still essential to how
Yeah.
how everything in Scales Bay works because
Yes.
we have to have a lighthouse.
Yeah.
Perfect.
There's always a lighthouse.
Yeah, but no one.
There's always a man.
There's always a lighthouse.
And then next thing we need to determine is like specialty goods. So sometimes also in Ryuutama, if you take specialty goods from like this town and we go to a different town where maybe they sell raspberry pies, we can sell them for
I see what you're saying.
higher
I would say
gold.
that maybe Cyrus makes some type of specialty bread. Because you just said you
yeah.
do
Or
dough.
noodles.
Maybe there's like a special spice or something in this region that is known for
Salt?
making the bread with. Or
Sea salt.
Sea salt,
Dude,
black sea salt.
sea salt, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, black
But
sea
it's black sea
salt.
salt
Oh,
because
yeah.
it's mixed in with the obsidian stuff. So we say it has healing
I like
properties.
that.
We
and
say.
of course your wool is
And then the
probably a
wool from
specialty good.
Windswares. Yeah.
We say it has healing properties.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah.
Don't worry. It's of course it has healing properties. Is there any particular herb that has what is a special herb that is synonymous to this area and what does it do?
I printed out a bunch of
You did?
herbs.
I can look up the herbs too if you want me to look it up.
Alpine.
Yeah, something alpine. Something.
So there's rocky. Would you consider this rocky or hillside?
I think either of those would work.
I think whatever you want. We don't have to go by like wherever it says
I like
it
this
is.
one. Giant's palm used to help ease foot pain
Huh.
after travel. So
I mean, there is going to be a lot of foot pain. People are going to step on crabs and seashells. And
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying
no, that makes a
maybe-
lot of
yeah.
sense.
maybe
Yeah.
there's giant's palm.
Sea urchins.
see, oh, Uni. Sorry, we're getting a cat today, and her name is Uni, which is sea urchin in Japanese.
Cute.
So maybe there's lots of. This is a place known for giant's palm.
Yeah, I like it.
yeah.
What other? I'm sorry, we've decided on the salt.
Yeah.
Is there a special type of wood that we have, maybe that you
Or had.
had?
I used to have really good wood where I came from. That's gone now. What about we could driftwood?
Yeah, driftwood.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You repair people's ships with driftwood.
That is-
Well, no. I make specialty items with the driftwood.
Oh, okay.
You make like those little statues.
Yeah,
and, like
gotcha.
you carve a seagull out of driftwood.
Sure. Anything. Dragon.
I love it. We are running like a little like.
This works.
Ticky-tacky
This
tourist
works
shop.
perfectly.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll name it
Puts
Flamingo
googly eyes
Jim.
on it too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Little clams. Oh, Mr. Mooney.
We've done a lot of this also while we're creating the town, but it wants us to describe like sights, sounds, scents. Like obviously, it's going to be very salty scents in the air. It's probably going to be cool breezes.
I was gonna say cool most of the time. That's why people only come in the summer.
Lots of like beach grass, you know?
Yeah.
Sort of blowing in the wind.
In the morning, lots of bakery smells.
Okay. Oh, that must smell so good. Waking up to like a sunrise and just smelling like the salt and then the bread.
And then at
I'm
nighttime,
so hungry.
the smell of beach fires, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, bonfires
Yeah.
every night. Yeah. I would say it's the city, like the town itself. Like when you're right in the town, loud and bustling during the day.
Yeah.
But like if you just go just a little bit, like over this hill or over that hill on the beach, just quiet and serene.
Right, because
Like,
it's so concentrated to the boardwalk. Yeah.
I'm just writing this down.
seagulls flying around, flaming.
Definitely.
Hoping to catch a glimpse
Flaming
of that
Fire
wizard
is
ghost.
So good. So good.
Got lots of new names to use, by the way.
Okay, good. We've got plenty of options. And then lastly, what are the town's threats? Obviously foot
Ooh.
pain.
Foot pain.
Yeah.
foot pain.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Especially going up that hill.
Splinters.
Maybe like sometimes that winter the water gets really choppy and rough, and if you're not careful, you could drown.
Yeah.
Oh,
Get
sure.
swept away.
Yeah, that makes sense.
What about it during the summertime? Because I feel like we've already established that
Floods.
summertime floods.
Floods from up in the highlands. I told
Yeah.
you like floods happen
When storms
because
come in.
because there's snow like right here. But then when summer comes through and when the storms come through, it just floods straight off.
Also,
this.
like maybe like storms, you know, like typhoons or you know, things like that.
hurricanes. Yeah.
Do we think that the floods in the summer from the highlands bring anything down with them, like special rocks
Well,
or
that's
jets?
how
where
we
the
get
scales
the
come from.
scales. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like literally like going down from the hill onto the beach. It's those
So
scales.
it's like the mountain itself is like kind of made of this stuff.
Yeah.
Right. And then every time it rains, some of it gets carried down. So like that's why we're able to sell little tchotchkes with like some of the dragon glass basically in it. And then, as that stuff gets used up, it always replenishes because it always
Dragon
just keeps
glass,
coming
huh?
back.
for those White
Obsidian.
Walkers that are coming
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Maybe
We're going to be
there's, like,
very important when the winter comes.
Yeah.
Very
Maybe there's
important.
also like wildlife that comes in, maybe like 30 to 50
Yeah.
hogs. Well, no, but I'm thinking maybe there is wild boar that's out in the forest, and if you're
Yeah.
not
They're
careful,
unrelated.
Unrelated to your
pigs.
willy pigs.
Different pigs.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh my god, totally off topic. I saw that that hogbound.
Hogbound? I
It's like
knew you would.
Earthbound.
Yeah.
So great, dude. Oh, so great.
But yeah, maybe there are some wildlife that like if you're not careful, they will like
Is there like
The wilds outside of
Yeah.
town are wild,
like
and especially
maybe like elk, like really large creatures
Sure.
that do walk in, and
Yeah.
like elk
Sure.
can be easily startled and they can charge you too. So
Elk
that's
or-
and obviously badgers. We know badgers
Oh,
are native
badgers
to
are a
the
Badgers,
big
region.
yeah.
problem.
Wolves, bears. I mean, like standard alpine forest
Yeah.
standard
fauna.
JRPG
Yeah.
stuff
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
And then
We'll
also with the disease that wiped out a huge portion of the forest when you were younger,
Yeah.
that forced you this way, deforestation maybe in other areas have kind of like pushed animals a little bit closer.
With
So-
the threat of some wild animals and stuff, and I may be overstepping here.
No.
in
We're
sort of dictating.
crafting the story together, Rick.
Do we have any sort of like a guard patrol maybe that
We can.
in town?
I feel like
Are there any constables?
there are people that sort of keep the peace. Maybe not like a typical like guards or anything like
Maybe like
that.
town watch?
Town watch. I think town watch is more appropriate. Like I feel like everybody sort of joins together and like during the council and stuff like that. Like I don't think they have a specific security like job.
Right.
People just like
They're not like
bond together.
enforcing laws. They're just
Exactly.
watching out for the town.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'd say also that there's probably there's a bustling community of hunters that kind of go out and hunt in
Yeah.
the wild, bring in leather and stuff like that. So they're kind of keeping the population down.
Yeah.
And also like we use that as part of our trade because like
Yeah.
we make clothes and food. Like that's kind of what we sell. So
Yeah, the hunters are probably a big part of this town
Yeah.
because they'll go if there's any wild monsters roaming or anything like that. Those are probably going to be the ones that go take care of the problem.
What's silly Ash?
Nothing.
Is there anything else we want to talk about Scales Bay before we get into 3 pages of exposition?
You're going to give exposition on, I guess, what the rest of the world's like. I was going to ask, like, where do we fall, I guess, in the hierarchy of our island's kingdom? Like, where does this town rank?
Is it a kingdom?
Or
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like everybody on the island works together. There's no, like, this is the main city. There's a
But
lot
is-
of little towns.
Is there a king and queen of the island, I guess, is what
Is
I'm...
there? Do we want to have a king and queen of this island? I
Well,
didn't think
I was
about
curious.
that.
I was curious if that
I
was going to
don't-
be in your exposition.
I don't have it in the exposition. We
Okay.
can decide on that. Do we want to have a king and queen or
There
a
could
set
be,
of
like,
royalty?
Maybe one large inland town, like in the center of the island. There's maybe like one larger town.
Yeah.
I would still think that like all the towns themselves are pretty sovereign.
Yeah.
But maybe there is maybe a movement to be like, hey, we're starting to interact with the larger world now. We should collectively bargain
Are
and
we
whatnot.
interacting with the world? though?
Maybe
We're trading a
Maybe.
whole lot, so that makes me wonder, like, is there going to be a process of, like, this town's paying taxes to, like, a larger entity or something like that?
I never imagined there being taxes in this world, but I feel like there could be some sort of royalty based on the past of the island.
Oh, okay.
So maybe it's just because, like, they are the ones that are the record keepers. Like, they've been here since the beginning of the island, and as far as
their
history
family
goes back,
maybe has a lot of interaction with the dragons or something like that.
potentially, yeah.
This is more cultural than it is
Yeah, I
like...
was going to say it's not necessarily like an
wealth.
enforced structure
Yeah.
of leadership,
Right.
but there are people who are from families that have been known to
like
be
a soft monarchy.
right.
Yeah.
So much like how you are known for your artisanship, that's how my family is known for like the woolly stuff that they make. Right, there are families scattered around who are known for like
Yeah.
their ability to keep records of history, and people look to them as leaders when they
I agree,
need
yeah.
Like the
guidance.
king of Sweden, you know, just a normal dude who rides around on a bike.
Yeah.
Not trying to be all fancy
Yeah,
about it.
yeah.
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 It's a pretty chill island.
Yeah.
As we've discussed, we
Yes.
live on an island.
Actually
so.
cold.
Oh, what?
Actually cold. It's chilly.
Cold, yeah. Record.
I can go for some chili right now.
Oh, man. All right. Are you ready to get into it?
Let's
Yeah,
do it.
born
All right.
ready.
Heck yeah.
Everybody hold on to your butts.
Butts held.
The world as you know it is small
Actually, that's my butt. Sorry.
and comfortable. It has always been this way, living on an island, of course. You grew up here, your parents grew up here, as did your grandparents and your great-grandparents. You call this island Ochre. You are a part of Ochre, and Ochre will always be a part of you. Hundreds of years ago, before Ochre existed, before the written language, people would pontificate of the Great Four, the 4 dragons that created the seasons: summer, winter, spring, and autumn. These dragons created life as they saw fit. Once the lands and the waters were molded to their specifications, they begat the weather dragons, whose power shaped the clouds in the sky and caused the rains to pour. The weather dragons begat the terrain dragons, whose skills further shaped the land surrounding them. Together, the terrain, weather, and the Great Four ruled over the entire world. Eventually, humans found their way into the dragons' lives, and they lived in harmony. The dragons helped grow crops with the healthy rainy seasons, feeding the humans, and humans protected them in turn. They lived together and prospered. But alas, all good things come to an end. Humans are a greedy sort and began to crave the magic and the power of the dragons. They turned against their friends and hunted them, slaughtering them for their scales and the magic cores that dwelled deep within their chests. The dragons, no longer feeling secure among the humans, took off, flying to a place where they could be safe, a place untouched by the filth of human greed. Once again, they started over, creating a new world, forming an island in the middle of the ocean, impossible to get to. Some of the dragons ended up returning to the mainlands to recruit their most trusted and devout human disciples, helping them with safe passage through the treacherous waters, back to their new home, back to Ochre. As the dragons shaped Ochre, the humans gave their appreciation by building temples and statues to worship them. They celebrated their love for the dragons with festivals throughout the year and offered up special items to the dragons. Humans and dragons were harmonious again, and finally at peace. Presently, the island itself is big enough to hold a variety of people and large enough to sustain diverse forms of life. There are golden fields of flourishing crops, and people tend to livestock, but there are also wild forests, home to beasts and creatures alike. Ochre has a multitude of sandy, warm beaches and snow-covered 2 twin peaks, which can be seen anywhere from the island. Some tell tales of a magical barrier encapsulating Ochre from the outside world, but no one dare leave the island to find out. People are content living in Ochre. They see no reason to leave the home that has served them for thousands of years. Fishing, sailing, and other aquatic jobs are central to life on Ochre, and are the most plentiful. However, that's not all. There are merchants, artists, and entertainers even. Everyone's purpose is to make Ochre thrive. Dragons are continuously worshipped here, from the Great Four to the lesser terrain dragons. People pray to the rain dragon in spring so the crops will grow big and plentiful. They sing songs of worship to the lightning dragon to strike down their foes in swift vengeance. At the coming of age ceremony, everyone chooses a dragon as their personal guide through life. The world is littered in dragon I can never say this word, accoutrements, thank you, and folklore. There are stone dragon effigies littered around the villages and roads. Dragon life is embellished on the attire and accessories. There are several holidays celebrating dragons, and people pray to them. Dragons are a part of everyday life on Ochre. Except, no one has seen a dragon for over 200 years. Not one cloud dragon in the sky, nor a swamp dragon swimming through murky pond water. There has been no sign of them. Seemingly they have disappeared from Ochre, and no one knows why. Humans are adapting to this new world without dragons, yearning for a time when the dragons will show themselves again. Which leads us to today. Since we talked about everyone having their own sort of spiritual dragon or someone that reflects in on them, would you like to choose a dragon?
Oh boy, there's a lot of dragons.
There's a lot of
So this would have been the dragon we would have chosen at our coming of age ceremony?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, can you give suggestions, perhaps, for
Yeah, I have a book
I am
of
a
them.
lumberjack, obviously. Trees are
So you
my
could do
forte.
a woodland dragon,
Woodland
or
dragon.
if you wanted to do, you could also choose a weather dragon. So you could have like a sun dragon or a cloud dragon.
No, I think a woodland dragon is kind
Okay.
of perfect.
And there's a dragon for each sort of environment as well. So there's a beach dragon, forest dragon, swamp dragon, alpine dragon. So
I think I'll pick Sun Dragon, sort of on the nose for my
yeah,
character.
we got a lot of sun things.
Yeah.
Since my magic type is spring, I'm gonna go with spring dragon.
I like it.
Highland dragon, I think. Is
Yeah,
that a thing?
there's the Highland dragon,
I think
yeah.
Highland dragon. Yeah.
Cool.
And what is it called? That like he's sort of like our what? Our like what is he like our main dragon that we
That you like give thanks to, like
Okay.
if you're a religious type person, that would be the first dragon that you would give thanks to, like, oh, thank the sun dragon for this glorious day, or I baked the best bread, thank you so much, sun dragon, for giving
I was
me
just
the
curious
strength.
if there's like this is your spirit dragon, or is there a phrase? Like is there
I wouldn't say spirit dragon,
Yeah.
no, but I would just say the one who you feel most in tune with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your attunement dragon.
Yeah, attunement dragon. I like it. All right, I have to now. I gotta put in the name that we created into this exposition.
Beep boop doop.
Beep boop boom.
Okay, which leads us to today. In the city of Scales Bay, it is the end of the year celebration. That celebration is called Rebirth. It is a time for self-reflection. Many humans take the time to set aside goals and make amends to the people who have slighted them and work on themselves for personal growth. It is a very spiritual and personal time. Most people take the self-reflection to meditate and fast during the day. There are various prayers, ceremonies, and prayers to the dragons for them to return, to bring a good year, or maybe something deeply personal that's between them and the dragon. But once the sun goes down, it's time to celebrate the year's end. There's copious amounts of drinking, eating, party games, debauchery, and fun. There's a huge bonfire on the beach and people sing and dance around it. There's a midnight market that only comes out once a year at this night and lasts until dawn. Townsfolk sell foodstuffs, drinks, and items of a playful, lewd, or gluttonous manner. For everyone, it was a perfect day of reflection, whether that be that you prayed all day, you fasted, you really reflected on your goals for the upcoming year, and it was followed by a more perfect evening. A full moon hung in the midnight sky, reflecting the crashing waves. It was the best rebirth ceremony yet. Now, what we can do is, if you want, we can roleplay that. Or we can just talk about like what you did at Rebirth. Did you participate? Did you have a stall there? What did you buy? What did you eat? How did you celebrate? What are your goals coming for the next year?
Yeah, I had a stall.
You had a
I
stall?
was selling my my
were you-
driftwood sculptures.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. Do you only sell them at Rebirth?
I sell special ones at Rebirth. You know,
Okay.
yeah. things that are a little bit more specific to the celebration. They're collector's items.
Yeah.
You can only find them during the Rebirth celebrations. It's kind of like, those exclusive Funko Pops that you get over at Comic-Con,
Yeah.
You can get them there.
Only this one night.
That's right.
So I worked my own booth at the beginning, which, similar to you and like many of these artisans, we sell special, only limited edition available at this event clothing that only comes from our most prized pigs, and it's worked on like all year long, and it's these very fancy ones. It's the most expensive stuff. Sold out like super fast.
Oh, of course.
So then Bucket and I packed things up and walked over and started helping this guy sell some stuff because Cypher and I, we go way back, and while he's great,
Same as Cyrus.
You guys go way back. We go way back.
So back.
Simon and I go back so far. Isn't that right, Silas? So I went over and started helping you sell stuff because while you're great at making the food and everything like that, I've got this gift of being able to like really upsell people. And so I was like, oh, you want to get this, but you want to combo it with that, right? And so like that's what my night kind of went like. I finished selling stuff on my end. I'm gonna go help you sell because I just love selling.
Gotcha.
So and you like it when I come on by and help you out.
I feel for like town vendors, because this is such a huge holiday and a huge celebration, that this is probably very beneficial financially for you. People are out for spending money. They want to have a good time. They want to eat a whole bunch of food. They want to get wasted. They want to just live up life.
Yep. For me, I started setting up my booth, and I got it stocked full of a whole bunch of different like little buns and like I don't know, maybe certain things that maybe were themed for a Rebirth event. Which,
Do you have like little pork buns?
Sure, yeah, little pork buns and stuff like that. And then Aster came over and helped me start selling, and I realized that Aster was so into the moment, maybe didn't even realize that I was just sort of like, he's got this. And so they've got this. So I just started like wandering the crowd and exploring the rest of the booths, which I never get to do during these events because normally I'm manning my own booth.
Yeah. What did you do after you left the booth? Did you partake in your own fun?
I did. I got some wine, and I don't know, maybe I tried to find that gal Maria that I fancy or something like that.
Oh. Was Maria dancing by the bonfire?
Maria was dancing, but I was just too shy. I was just keeping a distance and kept on thinking about the right words to say, but before I knew it, she was already gone somewhere else.
Never got a chance to buy her a drink.
I'm always giving you tips, but you're always just so shy. You gotta be out there.
Your tips always involve money and making money in some way.
Well,
Your tips are literally tips.
You keep on giving me tips.
Look, we earned tips. Right? You get your half.
Marta, so I came down to the festival, and it's been a couple years since I lost Sue, and so I'm sort of just by myself right now, but I'm trying to make a good time of it. So I go to the vendors and I buy food and wine and stuff like that, and I sit next to the bonfire, and whenever little children come, I sort of like, if they're being obnoxious, I hit them with my stick.
Oh my gosh.
So I got like a little nice wide berth around me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm trying to enjoy myself.
So is this, since Sue passed, did you go to the Rebirth Festival without her? Like after she passed the first time? Like the first Rebirth?
I think I've been going every year.
Okay, you still go.
Yeah.
You didn't like shell yourself away. Okay.
Yeah.
So you've been going to these for a long time.
For a very long time.
How do you feel that it's changed since you were a kid? Is it more like you've changed on your reflection of Rebirth? Have your goals changed?
No, I think my goals have always been the same, but it's like, it's more now like the changing is like, how do I take care of myself instead of taking care of others? And so
That's so deep.
And so on top of that, like the Rebirth Festival is also just getting bigger every year.
Yeah.
So like now I'm finding it more like, as much as I am enjoying it, there's more and more people that seem to not understand that I am here as well.
Yeah.
And so more children being obnoxious, more people just kind of bumping into me.
Yeah.
And so I try to find like a place that's more quiet.
How many years have you been coming and whacking children?
As long as I can remember.
Yeah.
Even when you were a child, you still were
I had
whacking
my own
other
stick.
children?
I had my sticks.
Part of me would like to think, and like take it or leave it, this little thing, but I'd like to think that you go and you sit in the same spot that you and Sue used to sit.
Yeah.
And if anyone tries to sit there, you smack at them because you're like, that's Sue's seat.
I'm just imagining you as like Yoda when Luke first gets
Yeah.
to Dagobah and he's like beating on R2D2. No, that's you basically. Boom, 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 boom.
Stick.
Yeah.
What about Bast? What is Bast doing?
Bast, I'm manned my my shop, my storefront for the night, and once I was sold out of, because I did sell out, of my sculptures, then I went down. I bought myself the biggest, flagon of brew that I could find, and went down onto the beach to join in the festivities to find some, good times and some laughs. I'm a jolly guy. I go where the fun is, So
Do you feel like Bast is the kind of person that always like has a crowd around him during these type of situations?
I wouldn't say like not any more than your normal.
Okay, so you
folk,
sort of visit like your friends, but it's not like everyone's like wanting to be around.
I'm not like Gaston.
There's nothing wrong with Gaston.
I sort of fade into the background when I need to.
Okay. Sounds like everybody had a wonderful night. Did anyone get trashed or eat too much?
Sounds like Cyrus did.
I didn't get trash. I just had some wine to relax myself and try to find, the courage to have words. And
Did you?
Yeah.
How'd that go?
Oh, no, I didn't actually find the words, if that's what you're saying.
yeah.
Were you like still though practicing in the corner?
Yeah, I was just like, repeating them to myself, and then by the time I looked up again, she was gone.
And you never
Maybe next
saw
year.
her again for the rest of the night?
Nah.
Oh shoot.
I wonder what happened.
Bucket got trashed.
Bucket did?
No, he got into the trash.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that makes sense.
He ate all the onions that were left over.
Oh, cute. Okay.
I'm a big guy. I'm like me and like Andre the Giant, like really hard to drink enough to tear me up,
I imagine like at any like coastal city, there's always like there's gonna be your sugar, your taffy, right? So sticky fruit taffy. There's probably some fudge. There's also probably like a big bowl of like spicy crab stew that's going the whole time. You don't have to eat it.
I'm not going to.
Don't eat it.
Like
lived
the
in
idea
this
of you like
coastal town your
walking
entire
by
life.
and like knocking over the crab stew with your stick. Whoops.
Gotta like that.
I'll take the spoon.
Just never acquired a taste for it.
I also imagine there's also like a florist set up too that sell these beautiful flowers called moonflowers that only come out during a full moon. So it's a very also romantic holiday for those wanting romance. So
Did you buy Moonflower, Cyrus?
No.
Maybe that's where you
should have
failed.
bought the moonflower.
Yeah, man. Next year.
You got to. All right. Eventually, you all find yourselves in some state of sleep, whether in a comfortable bed or passing out on the beach. You are fast asleep. You can't tell what time it is, but something stirs you. Groggily, you open one eye, then the other. Looking across from you, you see an image of a person. Ash. That was the cue. They are sitting down and holding a chalice in their hand. As you try and study this person while your sleep-induced eyelids droop, you notice them take a sip. This person has colossal elegant wings. The color of sunset bleeds into their feathers. Pointy and cute, dragon horns sit atop their head. They are clothed in opulent robes, white, pink, and midnight blue, with embroidered embellishments that look like clouds or vines. A gold circlet sits atop their head, and golden jewelry adorn their wrists and ears. You suddenly realize they're Ryuujin. You've only heard of them in tales from the elders in the town and the mayor, and probably from the royalty. Before you can do anything or say anything, they speak to you. Oh, hello there. I'm Oren. I know you probably have a lot of questions because I sure do. But I don't have a lot of time, and I'm not even supposed to be here right now. Shh, hush, hush. Don't say anything. I need you to listen right now. If you want to save the dragons, you need to get off this island, and fast. It's the only way to bring them back, But first, you should probably check out that old dragon shrine in the Wilted Staven Forest. There's a really old item there or something. I think it might help you.
Or something.
They look away, their eyes distracted by something, and nod. Okay, so I gotta go. Remember, get off the island, go to the shrine. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Real quick, Were we all around each other in that?
No,
Or
this is
wherever we were, we all experienced that?
experienced the same thing.
All right, so I immediately turned to Bucket, and Bucket is like terrified in like snout in the bucket,
Bucket
but like
woke
that's
up
all
too.
that it could fit, just like this,
Yeah.
and like hooves on it, like shaking, just like hiding inside the bucket. And I'm like, it's okay, Bucket, it's okay. Weird dragon lady's gone. Dragon lady, what? Oh, this is weird. Looking around to see if there's like anybody else, and it's just me and Bucket passed out on the beach. Did that really happen? Bucket.
Who
No
knows?
response.
Oh, Bucket, you gotta speak up, my
Bucket's
friend.
still just.
Unable to stay awake from this night's festivities, you close your eyes and slumber. Was it a dream? Was it real? Did you drink too much or not enough last night? You're unsure. Eventually, and slowly, you open your eyes to the new day. So, what did you think? How sure are you of your vision last night?
Well, I've had some strange dreams after drinking all night, but that's a first. Pretty sure I wasn't imagining things. It's hard to say, though.
Where do you find yourself waking up?
I was on the other side of the beach.
Like there's the bonfire in the middle,
Yes.
and Aster's on one side,
So-
and
Yeah, so
Bast's on the other.
So I'm up stretching, and like you can't really see me because I'm so short on the other side of it, but you do see Bucket as Bucket kind of like.
So I
Stretches.
walk up and I'm,
Hey,
Oh hey,
Aster.
What's up, dude?
how was your night last night?
Oh, it was great. Sold so much stuff, man.
Oh, right.
And Bucket got crazy on some onions. He loved it. How you doing, man? How did it go selling on the boardwalk? Always want to hear how you're
Sold
doing.
out again, but strangest dreams last night.
Oh, yeah?
Some Ryuujin.
What? You got a weird accent. Ryuujin? Ryuujin. Is that...
I can never tell. Is it spelled with a G or a J?
I don't know.
I've never seen it spelled out. Anyway,
Yeah.
one of those people told me I gotta get off the island. Like, that's a thing.
That's super weird.
I know, right? Nobody's left the island. You can't just leave the island.
No, I mean, hold on. It's weird. I think I had the same dream.
What did you drink last night?
Man, I drank, a lot of chocolate milk.
Yeah, okay, I didn't drink chocolate milk, so that's not it.
What did you eat?
She had the horns.
Yeah, sunset wings.
Yeah.
they.
They said something like, dragon shrine, something or another. Got to bring the dragons back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Staven Forest.
Yeah. Weird. Ew. Who's doing this to my dreams? And how can I sell it?
I wonder if anybody else has had this dream. Maybe we should head into town. I don't know how we go about bringing this up to everybody. Do we make flyers? Maybe with those little tickets you pull. Did you have weird dream? If so, pull ticket, find Aster and Bast.
Sure, I guess that could work. Isn't this gonna sound a little weird though?
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Yeah. I don't know if like my reputation can really take a hit like that, you know?
You're what?
My reputation.
This is the first I'm hearing of this.
Thanks, Best. Really make me feel great.
All right, well, I'm gonna head to town, start working on these flyers, all right? I'll catch up with you later.
Okay.
See you later, Bucket.
Fast forward. Well, not fast forward, but let's cut to Marna and Cyrus and see what happens when they woke up.
So I'll say that I woke up at Honobono. I made it back there, and
Is your house actually attached to the restaurant?
Yep.
Okay.
it's above the restaurant.
Okay. Of course.
I smell the wine that I have like the bottle next to me.
Yeah.
It's like not again. Like I hadn't drunk that much of it. It was still like one glass is empty from this bottle. Maybe it was like, yeah, that's not a good brand. And then I still had to wake up pretty dang early though to get prepped for work and whatnot. But was feeling pretty distracted and really haven't managed to accomplish much by the time the first customers arrived and whatnot.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Marna woke up alone in her own room, her bed, and it's very quiet. And she kind of looks over the bed and it's empty. And then she kind of looks back.
Oh, my
And
heart!
then she gets up and she starts packing her things. Because she's older.
Yeah.
Her grandmother actually lived in a time when there was dragons, so she remembers the tales from her grandmother. Plus, her mother used to basically was very I wouldn't say religious, but she would always be praising anything something good happened. It was because of the dragons.
Yeah.
So she grew up in that
sense.
kind of thing. So when Marna woke up, she knew exactly what to do.
Yeah.
So she started packing her things. She grabbed her bag. She put her, she made sure all of her ingredients and stuff in her apron was packed to make sure that she had enough supplies for her trip. She grabbed her old journal, and then she also grabbed her book of notes for all her medicine. And then she left a note on her door saying, "Be back later, searching dragons." And then she started walking towards the forest at the shrine.
All right.
Just off on your own.
I see Marna walking away.
As you're coming back from the beach.
I'm nailing a flyer to
Okay.
the town board. Mama,
I ain't your mama. What do you want?
Where are you going? It looks like you're all packed up there. You going on a camping trip?
Searching for dragons.
Dragons? There
Yeah.
haven't been dragons around here for 200 years, Mama.
Well, one, I am not your mother.
Oh, I
Two,
know you're not my mother, but you are like a mother figure in town, and your name sounds a lot like Mama.
Bass, you are 41. I expect you to know how to respect your elders at this point.
I thought I was being respectful, but you're like the mother of the town.
I am not your mother.
No, not mine, but like the town's, kind of. Anyway, all right. Can I call you Ma?
It's
Kinda-
Marna.
Marna. Oh, okay. Agree to disagree. Dragons, though, why? Did somebody come and talk to you last night in your dreams?
Yeah,
Here you go. Let me just show you the flyer.
you have to come a lot closer to that. Lisa.
Does that sound familiar?
That's what I saw.
You want to just pull one of those tabs?
Why would I? I'm going over there to search for the dragon right now.
Because it says, if you have had this dream, please pull below to contact Aster and Bast.
I take my stick and I start pushing Bass back. And I'm like, I am not here to divulge in your whatever this paper is. I'm going up Staven Forest. I'm gonna go search for this dragon.
Right, but Aster and I, we both had the same dream. So this person, obviously, they want us to come with you. And
Well, then why don't you start going now?
well, because if I had the dream and you had the dream and Aster had the dream, who's to say that other people in town didn't have the same dream? And maybe we should.
Hey, are you the one that put up the flyer about the dragon?
Yes.
So I hold out a loaf of bread that has wings on it that look like a sunset. They look like this?
Wow, your baking skills are uncanny, because that's like a spitting image.
It's like at a cruise where they've got the big baked bread statues.
Is that edible?
Yeah, you want some?
Yeah.
Right as you
some of
hold
the
it out,
feet.
Bucket out of nowhere just takes a huge chomp out of the side of
Yeah.
the bread.
Why do you keep bringing Bucket everywhere?
Bucket goes everywhere with me. You know this.
Bucket eats everything that Bucket sees.
Look, Bucket is a growing boy.
He's done.
Bucket,
growing.
Bucket is still growing.
Okay, so you also had the dream.
About Ryuujin said that I needed to save dragons and get off the island.
Right. Staven
Yeah.
Forest, Shrine.
Yep.
Wait, you had that? You saw that lady?
Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
Marna has left a long time ago.
Oh no,
Yeah.
that's no good.
Yeah, Marna has gone up to the shrine because she knows exactly where she's going.
Well, you can't just get there.
No, I'm walking there while these guys are talking. and
We're all talking.
arguing about this. I already know exactly what I need to be doing.
Nobody's arguing. We're trying to sort ourselves.
Yeah, no, but literally, like, as we're having this conversation, as soon as she pushed you away, she just started, like, walking.
Right, but are you gone?
No, I'm walking.
She's in the distance.
No, I know you're
pace.
walking, but I'm saying, like, do we see you? Are you just going
I'm walking an old lady's pace to the forest.
Okay.
So
It's
we're-
gonna take her
So
a
right now
while
we
to
don't
get
see her because we're all talking.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to suggest maybe we talk to the town council before we head out, but if we got to go chasing after Marna, maybe we should just not
It's not
do
really
that.
going to take much to chase after her, I'm going to be honest.
So wait, we're doing this? What's going on?
I mean, it was a dream?
It was a dream.
No, I mean, this is clearly more than a dream because it happened to all four of us.
It is interesting.
When's the last time you heard of people sharing a dream together?
You did hear about that a while ago, probably from your great-grandparents, or it's been passed down that sometimes this does happen, where the Ryuujin will visit people in visions. But it's one of those things that still hasn't happened in over 200 years.
As Marna's walking away, she calls back. She's like, if you've been tasked by a dragon in your dreams, maybe you should go and find out what's happening at the temple. And I still continue walking.
That's true, Marn, but I just wanted to make sure
It's
that nobody
Marna.
else in the town maybe was also spoken to.
If they were spoken to, you'd meet them at the temple.
Not if they're as confused as I am. All right, let's go.
Yeah, I'm always ready to go. I just kind of like,
You've got all your stuff
Yeah.
already?
I'm always ready to set up shop.
Yeah, you are.
Well, you think that I just live this way just because I want to? No, this is how you get all the best deals is you got to make sure you're everywhere that's there to be. And that's where I'm going. It sounds like this dragon place is going to be popping. If nothing else, you guys are going to need some stuff, and maybe I'll make a little coin off of y'all because you need some supplies.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that'll be.
Is Cyrus ready to go?
I just run up to the front of Honobo and I grab my giant staff. And then, yeah, I'm ready to go.
All right. So the four of you
Come on, Bucket.
all meet up together. You catch up with Marna, and you're starting your long trek to this mysterious shrine that you're supposed to find.
Does anyone know anything about this shrine that we're going to?
I mean,
And that's where we're going to end this episode.
Oh!